Hi parents, today is August 31st. Today we started with attendance and 3 students shared their About Me poster. We then moved into incomplete sentences. I showed them an incomplete sentence, went to the store, and in the chat they told me how I could finish the sentence. And someone suggested I went to the store, and this is absolutely correct. Because for a sentence to be complete, we need a subject. A subject is who or what the sentence is about. Because you need to think, well, who did whatever the verb is? The verb is went. So who went to the store? Or what went to the store? We then discussed how the store is pretty boring and it's pretty short. So we added, I went to the store to get chocolate candy. Our next one was ran away from bees. And a student suggested we ran away from bees because they were scary. So you can pause this throughout the recording and discuss with your student if they missed today. They did not need to write this down. This was a listening portion where they just gave me their answers through chat or unmuting themselves. Our next one was caught the fly ball. Well, who or what caught the fly ball? They caught the fly ball at the baseball game, is what they added. Tripped over spiky leaves. Who or what tripped over spiky leaves? Well, students said Roman tripped over spiky leaves, and then we added when he was running down the street, just to make it more interesting. Very good. Then we move to our grammar. It can be pink. Some were pink, but it's week 3, 3rd grade grammar, the first page. We dissected the directions. So we boxed, put a line, number 1, under who or what the sentence is about. The subject, so that's when we learn this vocabulary word. The subject, you need a subject in a sentence for it to be complete. So we had to identify the subjects in these sentences. So Anne and Kim had a pet cat. So what I did is I covered up the subjects so they could see who had a pet cat, because that's what we were practicing earlier. Oh, Anne and Kim was for sale. What was for sale? Oh, the red bike. They added red. They made the sentence more interesting that we were trying to do as well. Ran down the track. What ran down the track, or who ran down the track? A fast train. And then my mom and dad like to swim. Well, who likes to swim? Mom and dad. So their homework is to finish the rest of the page, and they'll get extra points if they make, they don't need to do it all, but some of the sentence if they add detail to make it more interesting, as well as identify and underline the subject. Next, students needed to get their Orange Wonders textbook. I don't have the student version with me. I have the teacher version, so it looks different, but it's the orange textbook I handed out on pickup. And we turn to page 21. 21. Again, that's page 21. We only got through the first 3. We had so many issues with people getting kicked out, and I didn't want anyone to get anxiety and feel like they were falling behind. So we only did the first 3 vocabulary words. They were also to get their journal. And I helped them set it up. Just turn to the first page, and we wrote page 1 in the top corner, the date, Monday, 8/31, and vocabulary. So I will put this up. You can pause right now if they need to fill it in. But what we did is I never gave them the definition. We read each one. So my head ached and hurt when I had a bad cold. Well, when has your head ached? So I had them write in the chat, when did their head ache? And they gave me their answer. And then I said, well, what do you think ache means? And everyone said hurt. It was really good. So then I gave them the full definition. And they also need to write this in their vocabulary book. Ached, hurt, or felt sore. Then they gave me a sentence to use. My stomach ached. And then we made it longer and more filled with detail. When I ate too much candy. They don't need to use mine, they can. Then with concentrate. Tom can concentrate in the quiet library. Name places where you can concentrate. And they were saying the room, school. And I said, what do you think it means? And they came up with think, which was great. And then I added, think very carefully about what you are doing. And then they helped me come up with a sentence. I concentrated when I kicked the ball during my soccer game. And the last one we did today was discovery. Matt and June made a fun discovery at the beach. What fun discovery have you made? And they all wrote in the chat. Some really struggled because this is a more challenging vocabulary word. But we did get some great answers. And we had found. Found was the one that a lot of students said, and it's part of the definition. So I helped expand it. So discovery is something that was hidden or unknown is found. Then we discussed, because they told me stuff they found in the beach. So I said how it was hidden in the sand, and then it was found. Then I had a couple students say how something that they learned they can discover. And it's absolutely correct. So unknown. So we talked about how last week they didn't know how to do expanded form. So last week I discovered how to do expanded form. So, or they could say today I discovered how to round numbers. So it was unknown, something they didn't know, and then that knowledge was found. And then we had a great sentence one of the students recommended, I discovered a pirate ship. And then we wanted to further it, make it more interesting, when I was at the beach. They can use my sentences or come up with their own. So we will continue this tomorrow, but they need to finish up to this point, so pause it. And then for homework for vocabulary, I will get that out. In their week 3, 3rd grade language arts, page 2, are their words. They need to cut them all out and write I didn't say this in class, but if they want to get a head start, write the definitions of the 3 words, concentrate, and discovery on the back of the cards. So that's their homework for language arts. Then we moved on to math. The rest of the day was math. In their folder, their superhero documents was a paper clipped stack of papers. In that stack of papers were numbers that they needed to cut out. So a lot of the time today in class was cutting them out. I had them, so I want you to do this at home. So if your child wasn't here today, I want them to first cut them out, and somewhere in their living room, wherever you have room, I want you to put it from 0, if you have room, all the way to 20, and spread them out a little bit because they're going to be jumping. So once you cut them out, put them in order 0 to 20, and I just want you to ask them certain questions. So when they are on, I ask students when they're on 4, are they close? Or they jumped to 4, and I said, are you closer to 0 or 10? They said 0. And that's all I did is we chose numbers. I had them jump to 8. I said, when you're on 8, are you closer to 0 or 10? And they would say they're closer to 10. Then I'd have them jump to 12. They'd say, are you closer to 10 or 20? And they would say 10. I'd have them jump to 18. Say, are you closer to 10 or are you closer to 20? They would say 20. So we did that. And then we just jumped around, played around with that. Next, within that packet is a blank number line. So we filled this out. This also took some time, but this is really important. So I need your student to follow along. It needs to start at 0. So the first line is 0 to 10. The second one starts at 10, not 11. 10 to 20. 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Once we labeled all our points, our dashes, we got a yellow crayon and boxed 0 to 40, 10 to 50. Then we got a blue crayon and we boxed the number with the 5 in the ones place. So 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. We discussed how we will only choose the yellow numbers. When I say, what are you closest to? It's only the yellow numbers are our choices. Okay? Then I had them get their protective sheet that we're using for a whiteboard and slide their number line within. And then we just played around. So I said to plot. This is important. If I say plot 7, you do not plot it up there because a lot of students do this. You do not plot down low. You plot where the two lines intersect, where the two lines meet. So if I say plot 7, that's where you plot it. And I asked, is 7 closer to 0? Because remember, the yellow numbers are the only ones that we're seeing if that number's closest to. Or is 7 closer to 10? Well, it's closer to 10. So I told them just how they were jumping. I want them to draw an arrow. Then we just kept going. I said, plot 12. They plotted 12. I said, is 12 closest to 10 or 20? They said 10. We did this a few times, and then I told them the magic trick, something they just learned. This is 3rd grade math. We're not reviewing anymore. We have entered 3rd grade math. Your student is already rounding to the nearest tens place. And I told the students, instead of saying closest, change it out for rounding. So I'll say plot 17. Now I'm going to say what is 17 rounded to the nearest tens place? 10 or 20. And I would give them an example. I'd say, okay, what's 17 closer to? Well, we already discussed 10 or 20. They'd say 20. So I'd say, yes, 17 is rounded to 20 to the nearest tens place. And we did that. And what you realize, so if you plot 23, closer to 20, you plot 27. Oops, I keep doing 7 all the way. Let's plot 26. Closer to 30. And then we got to the tricky, the 5 in the ones place. It's the same distance. It's 5 jumps to get to 5. So 0 to 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I told him, if there is a 5 in that ones place, you go up. You never want to go down. You want to go up. So 5 is rounded to 10. 15 is rounded to 20. 25 is rounded to 30. 35 is rounded to 40. And 45 is rounded to 50. It always goes up. Another pattern that we noticed is all the numbers between that 5 and the ones and between your end number always rounds up. So if a 6, 7, 8, or 9, when you're rounding to the tens place, is in that ones, you always round up. Up, up, up. Oh, there's a 6, there's a 7 in the ones, 8 and 9. Oh, guess what? It's going to round up. We already know this. Now, when there is a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4 in the ones place, you round down. So 31 rounds to 30, 32 rounds to 30, 33 rounds to 30, 34 rounds to 30. So you're never going to cross over our blue number. You're never going to cross over our midpoint. This is our midpoint. It's in the middle. So we did a few of these. Then we moved on to our math sheet. And I had them keep their number line in this protective sheet because we're going to use it again. And let me find our math. All right. In week 3, third grade math, page 1. There are no instructions because I pulled this from a different activity that I've done in the past. So there are no instructions. So I had to verbally give them. For me, 86 was hidden, so I just rewrote it. So we are rounding these numbers to the nearest 10. That's what we need to do. But the steps are we need to plot it on the number line first. We'll start at 80. Each dash is 1. So 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. And we plot. Just like those yellow numbers, when there is a 0 in the ones place, those are the only numbers we can round to. So 80, okay. There's a 0, there's a 0 and a 1. So 86, does it round to 80, 90, or 100? What is it closest to? Well, 100's very far away. You would not jump over 90 to get to 100. So 90 is the closest number. Same with 73. Find 70 because it's the easiest. 71, 72, 73. Plot and write the number. So is 73, does 73 round to 60, 70, or 80? Oh, it's closest to 70. It rounds to 70. The next 3 are homework. So that's what their homework is. We're going to continue this tomorrow. Something else that I forgot to add into the post that I just sent is we are not allowed to do breakout rooms anymore, unfortunately. Some people in other classes kind of ruined it for the rest of us with not being respectful and responsible when the teacher was not in the break room. So we cannot do that anymore. All right. Well, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.